Okay, so Assalamu alaikum once again, and after this, a short introduction, let's begin the proper class and the proper session. I hope you all can see my screen. Okay, whatever the queries you have in between my lecture and explanation, you can always write in the chat box, and I'll try to address. Okay, so the chat box is open in front of me. Fine. So last time in the previous session, we did can and could. All right, and I hope you remember that in what situations we use can and could, and what are their usages. So may and might is the two are the two more model verbs that we use quite often in our day-to-day life in communication. Sometimes, what happens that students, when it comes to learning English or learning any foreign languages, whether it is French or it is English or French or Chinese, whatever the language you would like to learn, remember one thing, that never go for translation method. Train your brain and your mind to accept the language, to produce the language with its use, with the usage of the structures that you are learning in that particular language. Because if you go with the translation method with your L1, L1 means your first language. For example, your first language is Urdu, and you are trying to first think in your brain and then translate it into English and then speak. It will take a longer time, and as well as you may not be able to uh, speak well, you will not be able to get the fluency, right? So the great idea is conceptualization, understanding the use of the particular structures and the language ideas that you are learning in your course. And this is one of the reasons that, after having, been learning for years and years, you can see that at the end of the day, mostly students, they are not proficient in writing. They are not proficient in using the grammatical structures at the right places. So this is one of the reasons, right? So we have may and might. Let's, on your screen, you can see that there are few examples. We will study these examples first. You are looking for, study this example situation. You are looking for Ben. Nobody is sure where he is, but you get some suggestion, right? Where is Ben? He may be in his office. So when we are saying he may be in his office, it means perhaps. We are not sure that he is in his office. We are not sure, all right? Then he might be having lunch. Perhaps he is having lunch. It means we haven't seen him, all right? Whatever we are saying and the information that we are giving about Ben, it's based on our speculation. It's based on random thought, or we are guessing. We haven't seen him exactly whether he is having a lunch or whether he is in his office or not. Okay? Ask Kate, she might know. All right? So, see, that's such a short, wonderful dialogue that has given you a wonderful representation of may and might in just three sentences. The next example is, we use may or might to say that something is possible. We can use may or might. All right. Um, for example, like somebody is coming to you and is giving you any or sharing any information or news with you, and then what would you say in return? In response, you can say, it may be true. It means you are not sure. Like when we talk about may and might, you see that the degree of certainty, the degree of surety and the certainty is less than 50%. All right. So if we want to give it a number, that how much sure we are when we are using may or might, so we can say that we are, we can say we are sure. The surety and the certainty level is about, less than 50%. Okay. When we say must, when we are more sure about things, when we say must, we can say that it is between 90 to 99% something. So we can also categorize these model words with the by giving them certain percentages based on their certainty, certainty of an action. Okay, it might be true, perhaps it is true. She might know or she may know, they both are giving you the same meaning, all right, which means that she is not sure, but we are not sure. She may know it about whatever the things we are asking. The negative forms are may not or might not. Okay, we don't have any contractions of these model verbs as we have can, so we can say can't, and could we can say couldn't, and must we can say mustn't. But when we are using may and might, these two model verbs, we don't have any contractions. Okay, right. We use may and might with all the all the pronouns and with all the subjects. In the box, as you can see, may and might and not. Okay, we can use maybe. He may be in his office, he may be doing some work, or he may be having his lunch. All right, so we can also use the progressive form with may and might. All right, I may know, I might know, he might work, or he may work. All right, note the difference between maybe and two words, and maybe one word. It it may be true, may plus verb. Acha, in the previous class I explained you that with all modal verbs we need to use the first form of the verb and the original form of the verb without any s or es. All right, let me admit some students who are going to join us. Okay, so is it true? Maybe. I'm not sure. All right. So maybe is a word. It is one word, which means it's possible, perhaps. So when you are using this maybe in the beginning of the sentence, then you can use it together. Like it will become one word. For the past, we use may have or might have. All right. Okay. We use modal verbs with past usages as well. If we want to use it for past, what we do, we use have plus a past participle form of the verb. All right. Can you tell me what is the past participle form of the verb? If you could please write in the chat box. What do you think when we say past participle? What comes in your mind when we say past participle? Yeah. Anybody of you can just write in the chat box. If you can just write in the chat box, what do you mean? All right, all right. Khuda Baksh is saying third form of the verb. Exactly. Like when we say write, wrote, written. So written is the past participle form of the verb, right? So what is the structure? What is the word order of making the sentences with may and might with for when we are talking about past? All right. So we use may have or might have with past participle. I wonder why Cat didn't answer her phone. I wonder why Cat didn't answer her phone. She may have been asleep. She may have been asleep. Perhaps she was asleep, right? So what we are trying to say here, maybe वो सो चुकी होगी by that time. She may have asleep by that time. All right. I can't find my phone anywhere. Okay, so then what could be the possibility? You might have left it at work, right? So you are back home and you are looking for your phone everywhere, and then you are discussing this problem with your sister, and you are saying that I'm unable to find my phone. I don't know where I have left it. All right, so your sister will say that you might have left it at work because you don't have your phone right now. So there is a possibility that you might have forgotten your phone at the office. Why wasn't Amy at the meeting yesterday? And, uh, you know, the possibilities, she might not have known about it. Maybe the message was not communicated to her well. So she might not have known about it that there was a meeting yesterday. So she couldn't join. She missed the meeting. I wonder why David was in such a bad mood yesterday. He may not have been feeling well. He may not have been. So you see that when we talk about the structure and using the past participle form of the verb, been is the third form of or the past participle form of be. All right. So perhaps he wasn't feeling well. All right. Okay. Do you think that could is similar to may and might? So let's just the recap the previous class as well, when which we studied about could. It's a strange story, but it could be true. It is possible that it's true. All right. You could have left your phone at work. It's possible that you left it there. So here we are using could have and past participle form of the verb interchangeably for expressing the same situation in the idea. All right, you could have left your phone at work. It is possible. When we use could have, may have, might have, we are talking about the situations or the actions which may have been possibility. All right, but couldn't negative is different from may not and might not. How? Sarah couldn't have received my message. Otherwise, she would have replied. It is not possible that she got my message. All right. It means when you are saying Sarah couldn't have received my message, otherwise she would have replied. It means it is giving you more surety that if she hasn't replied you, if she didn't reply you yesterday, it means she couldn't have received your message. Why hasn't Sarah replied to my message? I suppose she might not have received it. It is possible that she didn't receive it. Perhaps she did, and perhaps she didn't. Again, you are not sure, and there is a possibility that she may, she might not have received it. Okay, so it is the use of may and might. So let's do some exercises. Okay, so the first exercise is complete the sentences, choose from the box, right? Can you see there is a box in which some hints and situations and some answers are already given. What you need to do, you need to pick one which goes well with the situation and then tell me. So already there is some help on the screen for you. You don't have to be wondering, right, like what should be the answer. All right, so do you know where Helen is? I'm not sure. She might be in her room. So might be in her room is already now is cut from the box because if we have used it and it has already been used. All right. Is there a bookshop near here? All right. So tell me, Asad, will you please unmute yourself and tell me what do you think is the answer or could be the possible answer from these
Maybe,
options?
ma'am, maybe.
Okay. Maybe what? Is there a bookshop near here? What is the
Maybe
answer?
there,
Okay. Maybe. Which one? No, from the, okay. Are you
second,
following this box? All right. Uh, maybe Tom's may not be feeling, may not be, what is this? May not be possible. Maybe in her room, might be Brazilian, might be driving, might have one, might no. Which one do you think is the right answer? Is there a bookshop near here? I'm not sure, but ask Anna. I'm not sure, but ask Anna.
she might know.
She might know exactly. Thank you so much. This is the right answer. Uh, Irza, yes, might know. You have written correctly in the chat box. I'm glad that you are sharing your responses in the chat box. Okay, now I would want you to please voluntarily unmute yourself whenever I'm asking you and then keep writing in the chat box so I could hear from you that you are with me. All right, now sentence three or situation three. Where are those people from? Where are those people from? I don't know. They, where are those people from? So whenever we are asking where are you from and where are those people from, we might be, we might want to know about their nationality. All right. So what do you think? Can any one of you unmute yourself and let me know, please?
They might be from USA.
All right.
They might
Um,
be Brazilian.
or exactly who was this? Please tell your name. They might be Brazilian.
Asad.
Asad, thank you so
As-
much. They might be Brazilian. Okay. And remember, you have to choose the answer from the box. Okay. Misbah, thank you so much. Correct answer. Abdullah, thank you so much for your responses. You're very active. Thank you so much. Now, let's move on. I hope you can help me. I'll try. But it, number four. I'll try. I hope you can help me. I'll try. But it, what do you think? Just look at this. Okay. This box in which there are answers given, situations given. Okay. May not be possible. All right. Khudaba, thank you so much. May not be possible is the correct answer. Okay. All right. Izra, correct. Abdullah, correct. All right. Let's move on, forward. Sentence number five. Whose phone is this? It's not mine. It,
It might be.
okay, it might be, Whose phone is this?
Asad's.
Okay, all right. But Asad name is not written on the screen. If you can see on the
It may
screen,
be Tom's.
it may be Tom's. Yes, all right. So you can see that this sign of apostrophe as is showing you possession, right? Like okay. My it may be Tom's means that it's not mine. It may belong it may belong to Tom. All right. Number six. Why does why doesn't George answer his phone? Why doesn't George answer his phone?
He,
He
he might be driving.
he might be driving. Correct. He might be driving. This option is given. All right. Thank you so much, Abdullah. Thank you, Ahsan, for your responses in the chat box. Number seven. Do you know anyone who has a key to this cupboard? Do you know anyone who has the key to this cupboard? Rachel. Rachel.
Might have.
Rachel might have one.
Okay. Rachel might have one.
Might have one.
Might have one. Correct. Thank you so much. All right, but I'm not sure. Right, she might have one, but I'm not sure. So this might have is the first form of the verb. We use have for position as well. Like I have the key. I have the books like that. Okay. Gary is in a strange mood today. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He like somebody is feeling low, somebody is looking very down, and you're saying that Gary is in a strange mood today.
He
Yes, he
might be
is.
in perplexity.
Okay, he might be
In
perplexed.
perplexity.
Okay, he might be in
Perplexity.
perplexity. Okay, Asad, thank you for sharing. I mean, being very confused and nervous. He may not be feeling well. Misbah, yes, he may not be feeling well. Thank you so much for your responses.
Yes.
I'm glad that you actively participated. Thank you. So everyone, I'm going to show you a video in which you will see the next model verb we are going to learn. It's used in the conversation, all right? And then I'll ask you that what you heard. So whenever you have any, if you have any voice issue or something, you can write in the chat box. I'll try fix it.
Obligations and rules. Welcome to Jennifer Company, John. Do you have any questions?
Yes, what time do I have to start work?
You have to start work at 8 a.m.
Okay. So can you please tell me what was the question? All right. Can you please repeat the question which he asked?
When you start
Mm-hmm.
when you start your work.
When you start your work, or okay, listen again.
It
All right.
Do you have any questions?
Yes, what time do I have to start work?
Okay. So what is the question? What time do I have
what time?
to?
Yes.
Yeah. Do I have to start work? All right. So can you see this have to in pink color? All right. So this is the model verb that we will be sharing. So right now you are just going to have the observation. Please observe the use of have to at different places in this conversation, and then I'll ask you. Okay. Yes.
You have to
Okay.
start work at 8 a.m.
What do I have to do?
You have to type letters, translate French and answer the telephone.
All right. So, what is the question? What do I have to do? And what are some responsibilities that she has explained her? Oh, sorry, him. What are some responsibilities? You have to type letters.
You have
Trans.
to
Mm-hmm.
type it.
Yeah. All right. Translate French and answer the.
Telephone.
Okay. Answer the telephone. All right.
Do I have to wear a uniform?
No, you don't have to wear a uniform, but some people like to dress more formally.
Can I smoke?
No, you mustn't smoke in the building. You'll have to go outside if you want to smoke.
Okay. Did you notice the use of must and have to? in one sentence at different places? Okay.
You're allowed to smoke in here.
I must stop smoking. It's really bad for my health.
I think you should.
Strong obligation.
Need to, must and have to are all used to express strong obligation.
My tooth is sore. I must go to the dentist. You don't need to go shopping as I've already gone.
Although this is the guiding rule, there are so many exceptions to it that it is a weak rule. Compare these examples.
You must not bring food into the class. You don't have to bring food into the class.
Prohibits bringing food into class. It is not necessary for you to bring food in, but you may.
All right. So now you have
Ma'am,
watched that video. Yes, yes, please. Who would like to, answer? Yes, please. All right. So as you
Of
have watched
course,
the
ma'am.
video, yeah, thank you so much. As you have watched the video, and I asked you to notice the use of must, mustn't, have to, and don't have to. All right, and see and analyze that how in different situations we use these two model words in their positive, affirmative, and negative, both the cases. All right. So look at on my screen, as you can see that first we are going to discuss the use of have to. So I have to do something. It is necessary to do it. Like I'm obliged to do it. Okay. When we talk about obligation, obligation can be of from like work related, like you're working somewhere and then you have some responsibilities. All right, some tasks that your company has given to you. This is obligation. All right, obligation can be social. For example, that we have to follow the traffic rules. All right, it is a law or some moral obligations, right? So obligation could be moral obligations, and responsibilities could be work related obligations, could be social. All right, so it means that when you are obliged to do something, I'm obliged to do it. Okay, like for example, you can't turn right here, you have to turn left. Okay, you can't turn right here, you have to turn left. Okay, I have to wear glasses for reading. So this is your obligation, you are imposing it to yourself, because you see that maybe you can't read without glasses and your eyesight is weak. So this is, you can say that, okay, I have to wear glasses all the time because I can't see, or I can't read very well. Okay, Robert can't come out with us this evening. Okay, why? What is the reason? Because he has to work late. Maybe he has to finish his assignment and he's working on a project and he's working on an assignment. So he has to finish his work. All right. Last week, Tina broke her arm and had to go to hospital. Okay. One more thing here. We use have to talk about present obligations. All right. For example, I have to work, I have to work 10 hours every day to complete my assignment and to succeed in my project. All right, so this is an obligation which is imposed on you by your that work has been assigned to you, maybe by the company or by yourself. All right, but when we use had to, if you want to talk about the obligation or the compulsion that you had in past, then we use had to. Last week Tina broke her arm and had to go to hospital. I haven't had to go um, to the doctor for ages. Okay, now what is the negative? The negative is we treat have to as simple present tense. Like, we use do and does and did for making questions and negatives. All right. Let me give you an example as the question which I asked from Mehak, that imagine that your mom isn't home and she has gone for, to the village or the out of city for few days. All right. What do you have to do? So she would say that, my mother isn't home and I have to cook food. I'm, or you can say that I'm these days I'm very busy because my mother isn't home and I have to cook food. It means maybe she doesn't cook food in her routine life or daily, but since her mother isn't home, so she has to cook food. Why? Why? Because it is her compulsion. There is nobody to cook food for her, so she has to cook food for herself. This is a compulsion. So we use have to and has to. We use has to with third person singular when he, she, and we are talking about third person he, she, it, right? And we use have to with I, we, and they. We will treat have to same as we treat simple present tense. We have only 1 minute to go, so I'm going to end the meeting, and I would request all of you to please be back after